What has gradually disappeared over the last 10 years without people really noticing? The good old $800 beater car that would actually run and drive. Good luck finding anything nowadays that will run and drive for less than $3,000. And cars that ordinary people could repair. Online spaces for kids. When I was a child, we had several online places made for children. Every single children's TV channel had a website with games for kids. There were several online games geared towards children, like Club Penguin, etc. Now if you're a 10-year-old, you either rot your brain with shitty YouTube videos or you rot your brain with social media. The death of Adobe Flash did a significant amount of that damage. I remember Pop Tropica was basically in a coma for years afterwards while they scrambled to convert it to HTML5. Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network just never bothered switching most of their content, so those websites are pretty much dead. Neopets was my jam. The convenience and accessibility promised by the internet of the 2000s and 2010s that is gradually taken away from us. I bought a season of a show on Amazon a few years back, and they seem to have somehow lost the rights to the original, so now I can only access the dub version, which I don't like. The show now is only available on a streaming service that doesn't exist in my country, so I got a VPN, only to find out that I can't fucking pay for the streaming service without a credit card. So now I just order the box set again, like I would have done 15 years ago. It's not just the streamers. I remember when website loading times were the topic when talking about browsers, but now every website you open requires for you to take 2 minutes to close 5 legal questions and pop up, "Do you want to register?" horseshit, with the X's hidden in different spots every time. There are ads everywhere, and even if you buy the premium version of things, there's still more ads within the content, all for shit you'd never buy. Places like YouTube remove functioning like and dislike features so that you can't tell what videos you can simply skip. Google also seems to be less efficient than it was 8 years ago, and finding anything online has become a chore. All new security measures they introduce just steal your time and life energy. You want to log into Netflix on your PC, but you can't because it needs to be registered as a temporary device. They send you an email, but to open the email, they need you to enter a code they send to your phone, which is in the other room. So, you go get it, and once you've entered the code and opened Netflix, you forgot what the fuck you even wanted to watch in the first place. Don't get me started on all the fucking updates everything seemingly needs to do every other week. Google also seems to be less efficient than it was 8 years ago, and finding anything online has become a chore. This one is huge. 10 years ago, I was blown away by how good Google was. Anything I wanted to learn about was instantly found for me. Now it's all AI slop. And there is clear proof that the decrease in quality is partially caused by Google themselves serving worse results to get you to try another query and see more ads. I had to switch to DuckDuckGo recently due to the shitty AI suggestion thing I can't turn off. Fuck that noise, it's shit. It's bad enough I got ads on the first 4 to 5 results, but now there's AI taking up more space with shit answers. You can technically disable it by adding AI to your search. But my personal favorite is to just add the word fucking to my question/keywords, which also disables it. But yeah, super annoying. Quality clothing and furniture. Everything is plywood and polyester, even at the better stores. Edit. I'm in MDF and other particular boards. I live in an area where people will put things that are still usable on the curb, and have been rescuing solid wood furniture when I can for years now. I got an antique china cabinet, a small drop leaf table, dining room chairs, curio shelves, and a plant stand that way. Oak, maple, cherry, mahogany, pine, I don't think people know what they have, or are just more interested in modern-looking things. They're lost. With a little cleaning, a bit of a glue, sometimes a refinishing, I end up with beautiful pieces that will probably outlive me. And I also get to learn new skills. I rescued an oak chair last week that needs a little love, and I might finally undertake learning some basic reupholstery skills. The seat has a leather pad, but the leather is brown, and it would look better with black. I also rescue wood that I can reuse to build new things. Wobbly-ass bookshelf. Take it apart, and build shelves that fit my space. Leave from a dining room table. Take it home, clean it up, and reuse it. As long as it's solid wood and not particle board, chipboard, or any other kind of shitty press board, I'll make it useful again. Isn't it weird 10 years ago means 2015 and not 2010 or 2005? 10 years ago is 1990. Mid-career jobs. The Great Flattening. Seriously this. I feel like everyone I know either makes $22 an hour or $150,000 a year. Also early career jobs. Now everyone wants seniors and juniors, but with the pay of an entry-level job. The hyperinflation of titles is insane. I'm looking at companies and orgs with 80 staff and 16 are directors or higher. Everyone wants the cool title, just not the responsibilities. So irritating. They offer inflated titles because they don't offer a real opportunity to advance your career or pay. That's what we get instead. Good jobs and the middle class seem to be slipping away. Yeah, to add to this, climbing the corporate ladder has seemingly disappeared as well. I don't know a single one of my friends who has actually been promoted. If they ever move into a higher position with better pay, it's because they switch companies. And then we get scrutinized by our parents for our lack of loyalty. LOL. Coins on the sidewalk. There used to be this rocky part of a park that I could always find quarters in. Each time we visited, I would spend a lot of time rummaging through those rocks just to find a couple bucks worth of quarters. I made up stories in my head about how a truck full of quarters must have crashed there years ago, and they just never picked them all up. As I got older, I lost interest, but that place was always magical to me. Turns out my dad was dropping quarters in there when I wasn't looking because he knew it made me happy / kept me busy. I do the same thing for my chickens, but with corn. Dad raised you like livestock. Smart man. Small independent hardware stores. They used to be a small town staple, especially in the Midwest. Almost everyone used to be the oldest business in town, having been open since like 1895. Now, they're all mostly gone, and your only alternative is a big box hardware store or ordering on Amazon. It's incredibly depressing. A real live person answering a business telephone. And if you don't believe me, press 5 to repeat this message. Alternatively, a customer service call that doesn't take 5 minutes to tell you how you can reach them on their website instead. Motherfucker, I'm a millennial. Do you think I would be calling if I had any other choice? Toys and cereal boxes. The devolving of toys and cereal makes me so sad. My children do not get to experience it. I remember the toy was on the top outside the bag, but buggers would open the box and just take it. Then they put it in the bottom under the bag, but they'd take that too. Then the toy was wrapped in plastic and put somewhere in the actual cereal bag. Then no toys. I remember color-changing spoons and the monkey linking toys, but they were from the Jungle Book. Those are my faves. Really owning anything, but more paying to borrow. 24-hour businesses. COVID killed them, and it seems a lot of them aren't coming back. My local Planet Fitness closes at 7 p.m. on the weekends. 7. God, I miss the 2 a.m. runs. I loved walking around Walmart at 2 a.m. The Walmartians were out in full force then. Small phones. Remember the pre-smartphone era when manufacturers raced to make phones smaller and smaller. Then the iPhone was launched and everyone thought it was too big at the time, but now even that looks tiny. Now even cheap smartphones are huge, like mini tablets and barely fit into pockets. Reminds me of the Futurama bit in the early 2000s or 3000s. What happened? Did you swallow your phone again? Fireflies. Pile your leaves up, leave them. Fireflies lay their eggs in leaf litter, and when we bag up leaves and trash, then we're trashing future fireflies. I don't pick up leaf litter on my property, and I have a decent amount of fireflies every summer. Edit. While I'm here, popping in to say, everyone should look up plants native to their area and spread those around as much as possible. Your specific area will have a certain biodiversity dedicated to its ecoregion, and there's more than likely a non-profit close to you that will provide information on naturalizing your yard. My backyard is surrounded by woods on two sides, and there's a season every year, June, early July-ish, when they're hatching and my backyard is absolutely swarmed with fireflies. Like, it almost looks like a fireworks show, there are so many. One of my favorite times of the year. Ownership. You pay a subscription. You can't fix what you own because it's proprietary. You can't buy outright. Our ownership of things has become a rental service, where they can break or completely remove what we purchased without consent at any time, because it was in the terms of service. I will defend physical media until my dying breath. It's awful that we let people trade our ownership in exchange for convenience. Edit. Also, I should clarify that in physical media, I would include digital copies as well. Obviously not physical, but the concept still applies, I think. Edit. People saying physical media gets damaged/degrades. See above point. Make copies of the stuff you really love if you're scared it'll get damaged. Also, pirating still exists. I'm sure Disney will survive if you don't want to pay for copies. I bought Mean Girls on Amazon Prime. They took it down and re-uploaded it months later, but removed the English audio track, so the only option was to watch in German. And I would have had to buy it again. This was the day I realized how fucking stupid not owning a physical copy of anything is. In the least sarcastic sense possible, critical thinking and self-reflection. It's really a struggle to engage with people these days who aren't capable of putting their bias and personal beliefs aside to think big picture or critically about any issue. People just jump straight to personal insults, fallacies, and needing to feed their ego. My hair. We noticed. We were just being polite. Skype. It's amazing, really, that the provider of video calls disappeared during Corona. Literally didn't know of Zoom until COVID hit. Pre-COVID Skype had hit the point where the brand had to become a verb. You didn't video call someone, you Skyped them. COVID should have been their moment, and they absolutely shit the bed on it. People answering phone calls. I quit answering as my spam calls now average 4 per hour. The ability to read and comprehend something longer than a paragraph. I'm an English teacher, and this is a serious problem. I have several students who do badly at reading comprehensions because article-sized texts are too long. These aren't lazy kids either. Some of them are very good at other aspects of their work. They all speak 3 languages, but by their own admission, they just don't read. I don't mean they don't read books. I mean they don't even read magazine articles, newspapers, or websites. They literally just read Instagram comments and the like. This is going to have serious consequences later in life when they go into higher education and they cannot study, or they try and get an office job that requires that they read reports or anything longer than a short email. Also an English teacher. The problem is that kids don't think it's going to be a problem for them because they'll be able to ask an AI assistant to summarize things for them. And they're probably right. The scary thing about this is that there won't be specific consequences for individuals. The consequences will be societal. First-hand knowledge of the Roaring '20s and Great Depression. 3D and curved TVs. Childhood. As a parent, I feel fighting an uphill battle by keeping our screen free. Kids need to be taught how to play, how to interact with other humans. They don't even go out to play with friends anymore. It's all online. Physical checks as payment. I see less and less of those in my business. Cash was on its way out as well, but we have seen an increase in that. As a Brit who spells a check, physical checks as payments looks like a filthy sentence. Bugs. Probably Redbox. They used to be all over the place. I don't think they even exist at this point. Civility, integrity. Shame. Ownership. Everything is rented, leased, or subscription-based these days. People reading actual books in parks and public transport. It's a joy to see someone on the train with a book in their hands. I always smile and take a squiz at what they're reading and do a little squee if it's something I've read. Edit 1. Not saying people are illiterate, just noticing the move from physical books to devices/audiobooks. Edit 2. I'm Australian, Squiz equals look. Give us a squiz equals let me have a look. To be fair, I often read a book or a newspaper on my phone, so you can't tell. And I listen to audiobooks, so in the end, I am listening or reading books outside way more often than back when I had to carry a book everywhere to read it.